Hi friends, welcome to my Big Tidy Up. My name's DeDe and I'm glad you're with me today. Now today is a little bit different. I'm going to give you the heads up. Today is not just decorating, cleaning, organizing, or decluttering. Today is a Q&A. Now you guys requested that I do a Q&A and that we would do an Ask Me Anything and that you could ask me anything regarding cleaning, my ideas, personal. Well, you guys have asked a lot of questions. You have responded. You have asked me on Instagram, my Big Tidy Up email, the Facebook page, in the comments. And so I said you could ask me anything, but I really didn't think you would ask me some of these questions, but I'm going to answer them the best I can. If I miss your question, then just let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it then. Now, that being said, and I know it's a busy time of the year, you guys can just turn the volume up and go about your holiday preparations and keep on working and just listen to the answers. But do know that I'm going to kind of move around a little bit every so often so that you don't get the same background the entire time and it's not completely boring. So here we go, and I will just acknowledge who asked me the question. And some of these questions, I had several people ask the same question, so I've tried to group those questions together as well. All right, so here we go. First one. Linda, do you make your bed first thing? If so, does it keep you motivated or get you motivated? Has it been harder for you to be motivated this past year? Yes, I do make my bed every day, and I am going to attach a little video in the comments, and I am sure a lot of you guys have seen this video. It has gone viral, but it is a commencement speaker. He's an officer in the military, and he does this inspirational video at a commencement address that talks about the power of making your bed every day. I always have made my bed. My mother always had me make my bed. I had it done before I went to school. So yes, I do make my bed every day. And I don't know that it's been that much harder this year to be motivated. You know, it seems like there's seasons in our lives, or there's times in our lives where we're on top of things, and then there's times that we struggle, and I probably have that ebb and flow every year during the year many times. So that's your answer, Linda. Now, next up, Lottie. I can't even believe you asked me this question, but Lottie would like to know, would you rather find a rat in your kitchen or a roach in your bed? Well, Lottie, I really don't want either one of those things, to tell you the truth. But if I had to pick, I would probably rather have a rat in the kitchen because I would think the rat has less friends as the roach does. And that is just making my skin crawl even thinking about a roach in my bed. But I really want neither. But thanks for the question, Lottie. It was fun thinking about it and answering it, but neither, but I guess if I have to, I'll take a rat in the kitchen. Nancy, what is the sponge holder in your sink and where did you get it? So when I'm editing this, I'll put the little picture. I got it from Amazon, and I love it because I am not a person that likes like my kitchen sponges or my rags laying out where people can see them. I want, like, if you look at my sink, I want it to look empty and clean. And so it is a magnet holder, a sponge holder, and you can lay your rags on it. So it comes with this powerful magnet. So you want to put it where you want it, definitely the first time. And it goes underneath, and then it sticks on the side, and you can hide all of your sponges and rags right in there. And I got it from Amazon, so I will try to link that below so that anybody that's interested can check it out. It is very, very convenient and easy to clean around because you can pull it off to clean, but boy, when you put it back on, it stays on. Olivia, she wants to know, do you watch movies? If so, what are your favorites? Well, the movies I watch are probably what people would call as chick flicks. They're movies that would make me cry and laugh in the same movie. Like, probably my favorite movies of all time are Terms of Endearment, Steel Magnolia, Pretty Woman, First Wives Club, those kind of movies. And two of my other favorite movies, I wouldn't call them like chick flick movies. They're probably more to men, but they are so inspirational and so moving. I love them. If you haven't ever watched the movie Rudy, about a young man trying to get on the Notre Dame football team. It is amazing. I cry every time, and I've watched it 100 times. And the movie Glory with Morgan Freeman and Matthew Broderick. Oh, it's so inspirational. I cry through that one too. So those are my favorite movies. I really haven't been to a movie theater, probably like most of America, for a long time. And I probably just wait till they come out on Netflix, to tell you the truth. But I really do like Netflix and movies and Hulu and things like that. Mariah would like to know, which area of your house is your least favorite to clean? I would say my least favorite to clean is probably the bathroom off of our main bedroom, because it's used every day and the tub is separate from the shower, and I'm a tub person, my husband is a shower person, and they're larger, so it takes a lot of cleaning. It's not like we're using the same thing and one sits empty. And it's got 2 sinks, so it's double sinks to clean. I'm just not a big fan of cleaning the bathroom, and it's the one thing you can't ignore, or it's just too disgusting. So I would say my least favorite is cleaning the main bathroom. Joy wants to know, who do you think most helped you create the systems and routines, such as keeping a nice, tidy home? I would have to say, and this will kind of tie into another question that someone else asked, but my mother, that's how I was raised, and I always remember having responsibilities. I had to have my room cleaned and checked, and actually she would check my drawers and make sure that my clothes were put in nicely, and she did it in a loving, nice way, but it was just expected of me. And so once you get in that habit, it's just a habit that I've always carried. Okay, new location, and I'm kind of feeling like a news anchor sitting at this desk. But anyway, back to the questions. Miranda would like to know, what is my biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve is lateness. I hate it if I'm late. I don't like it if someone else is late and I'm waiting on them, but I really hated the thought of someone having to wait on me. So I'm one of these people. I'd rather be 30 minutes early than 5 minutes late. So being late, that's my biggest pet peeve. Maxwell would like to know, what is my favorite holiday? My favorite holiday is Christmas. I do like Thanksgiving as well. I'm kind of a fall person. I like this time of the year. Now, that being said, I'm not a huge Halloween fan, and I know some people are like, oh, no, because it seems like with Halloween, you are either all in 100% or you're kind of like, eh, and I'm kind of like, eh. It's not really, the biggest holiday for me, but I know a lot of people do enjoy it. Dee would like to know how often I vacuum every week. In the main areas that get a lot of, traffic with shoes and stuff like that, like the family room, the den, places that we're at a lot, I try to vacuum that twice a week. The bedrooms or areas, that aren't used as much, or, maybe your shoes are off, I probably do those once a week. So that's how often I vacuum. I know there's people that run a vacuum every day. That's awesome for you. That's not my life, but I do think that's great if you can. Eek, a mouse, would like to know what I really think of the Jaws cleaners. I do like the Jaws cleaners. I especially like the pink multi-purpose. That's my favorite. I do think they're great. I'm not a spokesperson for them. I don't, they're not a sponsor. I don't get a kickback if anybody buys Jaws or likes Jaws, but I do like them. I like the fact that, I can refill them just with the little tube, and you don't waste so much. I do like the colors and how pretty they look, but I'm just a cleaning product person. I like all kinds of cleaning products, generic Dollar Tree, Walmart, you name it, stuff off Amazon. I like those. So it's not that I like Jaws better than anything else, except the multi-purpose. It's probably my favorite multi-purpose, but I do like the Jaws cleaners a lot. Brittany would like to know how you decide which companies you want to collaborate with. Now, I will talk more about this in just a little bit, Brittany, but I will answer your question. I do really only work with companies that are going to do something for you as the viewer. So if they want to send me something, I would like them to send, a viewer, a subscriber, something as well. If it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. Definitely, I'm not going to promote anything I don't believe in, or that I don't like, or that I wouldn't have in my own home. and I definitely am not going to promote something that they're not going to give a discount to a viewer for. So if you're not giving me a free one for a viewer, if you're not giving me a great coupon code, then I'm not going to talk about it. So that being said, but I do like Jaws, but I'm not getting, I don't get anything for that. I just like them. But as far as to promote a product and collaborate with them and put my reputation on the line, I got to really like their stuff. I got to believe in their people, and they have to believe in my people enough to do something nice for them. So that's how I kind of make that decision on who I collab with. Marcia D would like to know, what kind of wine do you enjoy drinking? I guess she's seen that I collect wine glasses. When I do drink wine, I usually have just like a white Zin or something simple like that, maybe a Pinot Grigio, but and that kind of goes with another question I have. Someone said, what do you like to drink, coffee or tea? I'm a coffee girl all the time. Every day I have my coffee. That's how I start out, and I usually have 2 cups a day. And so I do like iced tea, but it's not my go-to. If I could only have one thing a day, I gotta have my coffee to get it going. So I love coffee. So that's those questions. Now Judy is asking, what is your favorite organizing container? Now I have a lot of different things that I like to organize with. Those expandable shelves where you can kind of slide and tear things down that I've used in several videos, and I'm going to be using in the pantry video. I love those. They're not really a container, but they help me organize. My favorite container would be like a clear acrylic box with a lid. I like things that I can see where I know exactly what I've got in there. Now, if it's on a shelf for public view, then I'm probably going to go a basket container where it looks more uniform. But when I'm storing stuff in my cabinets, I like to have a clear container so that I can see exactly what I have. So if I choose to label it, great. If I don't want to label it, great. I've got eyes and I can see what's in there. And the thing that's really the cherry on top is if it's got a lid so that I can stack and go vertical. So I would say like clear acrylic boxes, something with a lid, something I can see what I've got hidden in there. Those are my favorite containers. And it's time to move again. Okay, I've had to come back into this room because I completely forgot about several questions I got regarding my Rose Forever. Now, I apologize. I can't remember exactly who asked. I remember the names, ladies. I know it's Lynette, Sophia, and Lydia, but I can't remember which one of you asked which particular question, but I do think I remember the questions. One of the questions was, did I really like the Rose Forever flowers, and did they look as good today as they did when I used them for my fall video? Well, ladies, I can assure you they do look just as good as they did the day I got them. Honestly, they do. There has been no petals fall off. There's been no discoloration, no browning. They are preserved so perfectly that they are just as pristine as they were the day I got them. So you're asking, do I really like them? I really, really do. And they do stay the exact same way. Now, as far as the drawer, I used some fall decorating beads for my fall decoration and used the same set. Now I'm using these gold ornaments, and to tell you the truth, I'm probably going to use like some kind of Valentine beads or something and run it through Valentine's because it's going to match with the white roses. I really love the white roses from Rose Forever because they go with anything. Now, again, I apologize, ladies, but one of you asked me, do I have an arrangement that isn't in the clear acrylic box? You weren't quite a fan of it, and you wondered if the roses did look good, were they only looking good because they were protected in this acrylic box? Well, I can tell you, I'll just let you guys look. I'll turn this camera around and we'll go and I'll show you a new arrangement I have from them, and then you guys can determine what you think. Okay. I have come into the office. Now you guys know, and if you probably remember that my husband and I share this office, and I kind of keep the pink on my side and the gray is his. Well, the pink is starting to infiltrate, and here is an arrangement that I do have from Rose Forever. And ladies, like I said, I apologize for whoever particularly asked me this question, but I do have this. This is their dome arrangement, and it is holding up just like the arrangement in the acrylic box. I absolutely love it. And I can be assured that it's good because this is pink and it's not fading. It's the same original color. Everything is full. And I actually have grown to like this more than the acrylic box myself. But I will tell you, this is kind of going back to your question, Brittany, who I collab with. This is a company that I do collab with because they offer a promo code and they offer a discount and they have a good product. And I did contact them after I received all of you ladies' questions. I decided I would ask them, will you offer something? I've got many people asking about your flowers, and they said yes, they would. So if you'll look in the description, they are offering a coupon code, and there is a link down there where you guys can go check them out, because I promise you it is good quality work. And if this is something you would enjoy, check them out. I'm back. I feel like I should be like changing costumes or something. Like every time I'm moving to a new location, like a new set, like I'm putting on a show and I should have a new costume or something. But anyway, that's just me being a wacko. Back to the questions. Tressa and Kelly asked, would you say you've always enjoyed cleaning and organizing even as a kid? And Scribbles asked, did you grow up in a super clean home or did you just really love to clean? So I thought those kind of went together. As far back as I can remember, I always liked organizing. I can remember sorting my toys and kind of keeping things together in a neat, orderly way. My home was neat and orderly and tidy. We had a lot of living going on in the home, so I don't remember it being a bad thing or a thing that upset me, that it was so structured. But I do remember that I had responsibilities, but I enjoyed keeping things together and organized, and that just has carried with me throughout my life. Janelle and Elizabeth asked, do you have a system for paper clutter? How do you keep on top of paper, such as bills and mail, etc.? The one thing I do is I force myself to open my mail every single day. If it's, let's say it's a bill, I at least take it out, throw the outside envelope away, and just have the invoice and the mailback envelope together. I feel like as long as I open it, then I can go ahead and discard a lot of it right then. And I don't say, well, I'm going to look at it later. Well, if it's that important, I'll look at it now. So that's one way that I kind of keep up on my mail. I try to do it and take care of things the day that it comes in and not let it pile up. If, you know, because if we're going to say, oh, I'm going to look at those magazines later, that's probably not going to happen. Or if you do decide to keep everything, then have one day set that if you haven't got it done by, say, Saturday, then it goes in the trash. So that's just kind of some rules that I do. I open everything the day I get it, regardless of what it is. And if it's something I need to look at, then I kind of set a little time limit with myself that I need to have it looked at or gone through by a certain date. And if I haven't, then it wasn't that important to begin with. So Bradley wants to know, where do you get all your motivation? Well, I'm like anybody. Some days I'm really motivated and some days I'm not. But I just have always said, put one foot in front of the other and take baby steps. So those little steps can lead to something big. And so that's how I stay motivated, is just by getting some tasks done. And then it makes me feel positive about myself and gives me a little pat on the back, and it encourages me to keep going. Jennifer would like to know, how many children do you have? How long have you lived in your current home? And do you like having glass tabletops, or do they require too much work? Well, that was a lot of questions. Jennifer, I have 3 adult children, 2 sons and a daughter, and then I am blessed and lucky enough to get 2 bonus sons from my husband. We're a mixed family, and so we have 5 children altogether, and they are all grown. And that will lead into, I'll come back to the rest of your stuff, Jennifer, but I'm going to address Deborah's question that says, what's your greatest accomplishment? And they are my greatest accomplishment. I won't get too emotional, but that's my greatest accomplishment. With everything I've done, my career or things like that, raising kind, loving, successful children is the greatest gift you can give. And they are my greatest accomplishment. They are the gold star right here on my heart. So I'm proud of them all. We are very blessed to have 5 amazing, talented, kind, loving, compassionate children. So that's my greatest accomplishment. So Deborah, I snuck your question in. And I'm going back to Jennifer. And Jennifer, how long have you lived in your current home? We've lived here for 8 years. And do you like having glass top tables? Do they require too much work? I like having the glass top in certain areas. Now, downstairs in the basement, I don't have the glass top. But I like the glass top because I think it makes things feel a little bit open. And it doesn't make your rooms feel real heavy. So you'll notice in some of my rooms, like the den with the fireplace redo, I like the glass tables in there because it's not that large of a room. So I feel like it opens up the room a lot. Now, if the room's larger and it's more of a sturdier type of furniture, I like having the solid wood coffee tables. I think those look lovely too. I really have a combination of both. And so I don't think it's that hard to take care of. You know, just a little bit of spray and a rag or a paper towel, and we're back in business. So I think I got all your questions, Jennifer. And Kansas Brunette, which I'm a Kansas Brunette, mind sharing what you did before YouTube? I would love to talk about what I did before YouTube. What I did was, for 23 years, I was an interpreter for the deaf and hard of hearing. That means that I worked in the school system. I also have freelanced and interpreted for the judicial system at the courthouse and medical interpreting as well. It is a passion of mine. I did it for 23 years and retired from that position, but I still teach sign language and musical interpretations to young children who love to perform them for programs or church services. I have interpreted and still do interpret funerals if I'm called upon, or court hearings where I'm called upon if there is a client that is deaf that needs an interpreter. It is my passion, it is my life's work, and that community has and always will have a piece of my heart. And I'm very proud of that part of my life. Very proud of it. And so proud of that community and so happy that they allowed me to be a part of it. So that's what I did before. And I still do that. But that was my main thing before I did YouTube. And let me see. Okay. Barbara would like to know how many people live with me and are they as organized as you? Well, aside from the fact when we get to have our grandchild come over a couple of days a week, it is just my husband and myself. And if you're going to ask me if he is as organized as me, yes, he is. He most certainly is. Actually, he's great. He and I are cut from the same cloth, and so you know, he understands my need to keep things picked up because he has the same need. So yes, I would say he's just as good as me. Moving to the next location. Okay, next question comes from Jeff and Sparkles with Spirits. They both want to know, do you have any pets? Well, we don't have any pets on the inside of our house, but we do have a few pets on the outside of our house. And they come for a visit once a day, and after talking to our vet, we know exactly how to take care of them. So our friends have feathers. And so here they are, because I've timed this video right at snack time, so they are ready for their snack. So although we don't have any pets on the inside, we do have some loud friends on the outside. Okay, I'm back. I'm now in the basement. It's like I'm a song. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is my big tidy up? Well, she's in the basement for now, but I'll probably move another time. This question comes from Our Diamond Miss. Have you had a lot of support from your friends and family? How did they respond when you began your YouTube channel? Well, my friends have been so supportive to me. They encouraged me. I was a little nervous when I was going to tell them because I don't know. They love and support me no matter what I do. But it's like, you know, at this stage of my life, to leave one career and move into something else, I didn't know how they would take it, but they were supportive of me. They've encouraged me. They were the first ones to subscribe and encourage others to subscribe. They're like, oh, you need to watch My Big Tidy Up. They have just been great cheerleaders, great support, and helped me through this learning curve. And as far as my children go, they have been nothing but amazing. But I will say, I'm sure when I told them, they're like, oh, code red, there was like a mass call. You know, everybody was calling or texting, code red. Mom thinks she's gonna run a YouTube channel and she can't even run her DVD player. And that is true, y'all. I am not a real technical person. So sometimes I'm critical of myself and my work on YouTube because, you know, it's easy to compare yourself to all these wonderful creators that have been doing it so long and their editing looks flawless and, you know, their thumbnails are amazing and, you know, you're still just trying to find your way. But if y'all knew where I came from, I mean, I'm serious. Like sometimes I am not a tech person. Like if there is more than one remote, like if there's a remote for the TV and then there's a remote for the DVD player and then there's a remote if I want cable or a different remote, I gotta push this button for Netflix. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Like my son will come and he'll just make a video of teaching me how to do it so he don't have to come over here again to teach me again. So I really have been so supported by everybody and everybody's just been so kind and patient as I've been learning and I've asked lots of questions, especially to my children and their spouses because, you know, they're younger and they get social media and have really been teaching me the ropes. And so everybody's been supportive. My friends have had my back and so has my family. So I just couldn't be more thankful for everybody. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Louise wants to know if I work outside the home and where I'm from. So I did say I still continue to freelance interpret. I am fortunate enough that I get to help take care of our grandson for a couple of days a week. We're just thrilled to do that. And I am from Kansas. So Louise, thanks for the question. And Dinah has asked me, if we were to ask your friends to describe you in one word, what would they say? So you know me, I got on and did a couple little group texts to a couple of groups of my friends and said, okay, here's a question. I don't know how they would describe me, but here's some of the things that they described. They said that I was genuine. I appreciate that. That I was tenacious, that I was a hard worker, that I was organized, determined, and loving, and kind, and a good friend, and a good mama, and a good wife. And I'll take any of those adjectives any day of the week. So thank you guys. I wasn't sure exactly what my friends would say, but I have a great group of friends and I appreciate them so much. Very, very much. Cecilia would like to know, what do you do in your free time? Well, I love being around my grandson. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not, or if you can tell, but we just love being around him. We love traveling for the weekends. We don't take long trips, my husband and I, but we do take 2 or 3 day, trips and go out of town. We enjoy that. I enjoy supporting my teams. If you've seen the videos of me in the basement, you know that I love the Kansas City Chiefs. I love the Kansas Jayhawks and I love the Kansas City Royals. And we're always kind of watching sporting events. We like to go for walks. We like to be outside a lot. My husband enjoys barbecuing and grilling. We like getting and soaking up the sun outside, and we just enjoy things like that. So that's a lot what we do in our free time. And our children are kind of spread out. So, now that maybe the schedule can change a little bit, we'd love to even take more time and take longer trips to go see all of our children around. So that's what we like to do. And I think it's time to move one more time. Well, we're nearing the end, which is probably good because I'm going to run out of places to go that have good light because the day is getting later. But next question is from Matt. Do you have any advice on how to get motivated to do your to-do list when you're just not feeling it? Well, one thing you can do, Matt, just don't make that list real big, so that if you just put the main 5 things you want to get done, and they could just be making your bed, showering, doing a load of laundry, taking the trash out. Those are small victories and they can lead to something else. And so don't make your list too long because that hurts your self-esteem if you don't all get it done. You can always add to your list. And one thing I do sometimes is I'll take a piece of paper and I'll fold it in thirds and I'll have today, tomorrow, and next week. And so I just try to prioritize what I have to get done, because some days you just are going to get the bare minimum done because you're just not feeling it and life happens and you're busy. So there are days that I'll do my today list and there might be a thing or two that don't get done, and I just draw a little arrow and it moves to the next day for tomorrow or the next week. So that's one way I do it. I just take little baby steps and accomplish small things, and they'll lead to big things. Ramona asks, what is the first room that you usually clean? I usually clean my kitchen first. I just feel good about things when that's done. And it is on the main part. It's kind of the hub of the home. So anybody that comes over may come into that area. You know, the rooms that get neglected upstairs in our bedroom where it's just my husband and I that might see that. So I usually start with the kitchen, or I try to start with sometimes the thing I don't want to do so that I get it done and get it accomplished, and then I can move on to something else that I do like to do a little bit better. And Ramona also asked, what is one of the best ways to save money on like improving your cabinets or countertops? Well, you know, those are kind of pricey items to replace. You can try to paint your cabinets if you feel like that's something that's in your wheelhouse that you're comfortable doing. You can always paint your cabinets. One thing that I have always heard and I have found true when I have watched programs on home improvement, that one way that you can really change is just give your cabinets a good cleaning, and you can update the hardware, and you can do it little pieces at a time. Now, some hardware, some little handles you can get for $1 or $2, some are $20 a handle, but you just stay in your price range, what you're comfortable with. And I would just suggest, if you can paint them, that's a way that you can, you know, upgrade your cabinets. And you can also change the hardware, Ramona. That might be something that can give them a fresh look, and that you can buy just a little bit at a time. You know, every payday, just pick up a few handles here, a few handles there, and before you know it, the hardware's changed, and it can make such a difference. I'm looking at upgrading and changing the hardware in our bathroom, and I would love to change it in our kitchen as well, just to give it a more modern, fresh look. So that's one thing you can do, because I'm gonna try that myself. Now I have a question from Nomad Brad, Christy, and Holly. What made you decide to start making YouTube videos and having a channel? I have no idea. I have no idea. I just felt led to do it. I felt like it was something that I could share with other people. I love my big tidy up. I love going in and organizing and helping people. And I thought that I could get feedback and people could teach me to organize better, and I could share what I know about organizing and decluttering and things like that. And I just found that it was such a community. I didn't believe that it really would be. I was so nervous to start because I thought people will laugh at me. I don't know what all these other people know, but you know, there's things that I share that somebody doesn't know. And there's things that people share with me in the comments, and I'm like, what a great idea. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we're just all learning from each other. And I just found that it was a community. The women that inspired me, I won't say, but there's about 5 or 6 channels that they are great YouTubers. They are inspirational. They do quality work. They make a difference. And they inspired me, and I wanted to, you know, be a little bit like them. I knew I wouldn't be as funny as some people. I wouldn't have as modern of taste as other people. I wouldn't be able to run power tools like some people, but I knew that I would have something that somebody would enjoy, and those people would teach me as well. And so I guess that's why I started it, because I'm crazy like that. So anyway, that's the best way I can answer it. Nomad Brad, Christy, and Holly. Another question I got was from Kathy. Kathy wanted to know, when you group the silverware in the dishwasher baskets in an earlier video, I did that. Do they ever nest, like the spoons, you know, kind of cup each other and they don't come clean? What Kathy is referring to is a video about get in and get out. It was a few weeks ago, and I believe it aired Thanksgiving week. And what it was is you take your silverware, if you've got multiple baskets, and you sort those silverware before as you load the dishwasher. So you have small spoons, large spoons, small forks, large forks, butter knives, steak knives, spatulas, utensils, depending on how many baskets you have. And so every time you load that dishwasher, you load it the same way, so that when it's time to unload your silverware, the reason why I share this hack is because that is my least favorite thing to do in the kitchen. Honestly, I would rather clean every cabinet, wipe down all the appliances, unload everything in the dishwasher except the silverware. I don't like putting my hand and in the basket and pulling the things out. It's just not my favorite thing to do. So, I learned a more convenient and faster way to do it. And so what Kathy's referring to is, if you put all the spoons together, do they nest where they don't separate or get clean? I haven't found any problem with it, Kathy. Maybe if I put a ton in there, but since I run my dishwasher pretty often, I haven't noticed a problem with that. You could alternate, I've always been taught that you keep your spoons up top because you want the curved part there, because if you put it down, then water could pool and leave the little water droplet. I have not noticed any problem, and I keep all my spoons up. So I haven't noticed any problem, Kathy, but if you try it and you're finding it's a problem, let me know or post it so that other people know that that may be an issue if they choose to use that, that organization hack. So thank you for asking about that, Kathy. Now, the last question I'm going to answer is a question by Anthony and Carol. And they asked, how did you come up with the name My Big Tidy Up for your channel? Well, this is a sentimental story, and we all know I'm a big sap, so I'll try to keep it together. But it comes from this book. This book is called The Big Tidy Up. And this is a book that is over 50 years old. This is a newer edition. My daughter found it for me and gave it to me as a precious, precious gift that I will always keep. This is a book my mother read to me, and it's about a little girl that lives in a messy room, and at the end she realizes that this just isn't her happy place, and she cleans her room up. And at the very end, it's like, this is like YouTube 50 years ago, before and after. You see the before and the mess, and then you see the after. Even just like if you look at the beginning of the inside of the cover, where it shows you, here she is, she's a hot mess. And then at the end, she's nice and tidy. And so it's a play off of this. My mother used to read it to me all the time. My mother, she was the original My Big Tidy Upper, because I've told you that she helped me learn my organizing skills. She kept things neat and tidy and still had joy in her home. And that is something I've always inspired to do, to have the perfect combination of order, but loving chaos at the same time. And so this book is where I got the name from, because it is My Big Tidy Up. And so, I don't know, maybe after the credits roll, I'll read this book for y'all. My mother always read it and had certain little accents and fluctuations in her voice when she would read this book. But that's where the name came from my childhood, and a book that I read when I was just a little tiny girl. So see, I told you, I had this tidy and up issue for a long, long time. I've always enjoyed it, and maybe it's just a little piece of my mother. Maybe that's what it's from. But anyway, I thank you guys so much for being a part of the Q&A. Thank you for all your questions. If you're new here, I know this is probably not what you thought you were going to click on, and you thought this girl is a wackadoo. But I appreciate you joining my channel today. Tidy Uppers, thanks for coming back. Thanks for being part of my tribe. I appreciate you guys so very much. And I always end it the same way, even if it's a Q&A. So take care of yourself, and until I see you again, stay tidy.